All of the media, virtually all of the media, will be united in telling us we cannot do what every other major country on earth is doing. The way we are going to win that struggle is the way that great struggles have always been won. Whether it's the civil rights movement, whether it's the gay movement, whether it's the women's movement. We will win Medicare for all when millions of people stand up, fight back, and demand health care as a right, not a privilege. And we're going to need your help in that struggle. We're going to need your help to rally the American people and the Congress to have the guts to stand up to some very, very powerful people with unlimited financial resources. And when we talk about where we need to go as a country, let us all understand that we live in a competitive global economy. And if this country economically is going to survive, if we're going to have the decent paying jobs that our people require, we need the best educated workforce in the world. Young people and working people should not be punished for getting the education they and our country needs them to get. And that is why together we're going to continue the fight, and we are making progress every day on this issue, to make public colleges and universities tuition free and to substantially lower the cost of student debt right now. You know, when we talked about this during the campaign, just like a $15 an hour minimum wage, hey, Bernie, that's utopian. You can't do that. Nobody thinks we could have free tuition at public colleges and universities. Well, guess what? In cities and states all over this country, that is exactly what legislatures are talking about right now. We're making progress. We have to do it at the federal level. And when people say making public colleges and universities tuition free and lowering student debt in America is an expensive proposition, they are right. It's about $70 billion a year. Well, how are you going to pay for it, Bernie? I will tell you how. The middle class of this country bailed out Wall Street when their greed and illegal behavior nearly destroyed this economy. Now is the time to impose a speculation tax on Wall Street to pay for free tuition at public colleges and universities. And there's one other issue, one other major issue that we cannot walk away from. And that is to tell this president that he is dead wrong when he thinks that climate change is a hoax. All over this country and all over the world, we are seeing the very harsh and painful impacts of climate change. And there are many scientists who will tell you that the incredibly heavy downpour that Houston recently saw has a lot to do with climate change. Our job, and this is a deep moral issue, and I speak to you as the father of 4, and my son Levy is someplace around here, but speak to you as the father of 4 and the grandfather of 7. We have a moral obligation to make sure that the planet we leave our children and our grandchildren is a planet that is healthy and a planet that is habitable. And the good news is that despite Trump's rejection of science, all over this world, communities and countries and corporate world are investing now in solar, in wind, and in sustainable energy, and nobody is going to be able to stop that. But our job is to tell the fossil fuel industry, the fossil fuel industry is doing today exactly what the tobacco industry did 50 or 60 years ago. 50 or 60 years ago, they were denying the impact that cigarettes and cigars had on people's health. Hey, you could smoke as much as you want, it is perfectly healthy. And that is what the fossil fuel industry is doing today with regard to climate change. And our job is to tell that industry that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of our planet. Let's stand up to the fossil fuel industry. And when we talk about the issues facing our country, we have got to address a broken criminal justice system. And that deals with the opioid crisis of your state and my state sweeping this country. People who are addicted should not be seen as criminals. They need treatment. And we have got to end the disgrace of having more people in jail than any other major country on earth. We're spending $80 billion a year to lock up 2.2 million Americans, disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native American.
Rehabilitate.
Our job is to invest in our young people in jobs and in education, not jails and incarceration. Now, I've laid out some of what, not all, but some of what a progressive agenda is about. And there are people out there who are saying, Bernie is too radical, it can't be done. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that if we stand together and keep our eyes on the prize, and the prize is creating an economy that works for all, the prize is ending all forms of discrimination, the prize is to make sure that we have the best educational system in the world and everybody can afford it. The prize is to make sure that we end the absurd level of income and wealth inequality. From a moral point of view, the prize is to make it clear to our kids that greed and excessive greed is not a value that we should cherish. Generosity of spirit is the value that we should cherish. Today on Labor Day, we remember the struggles of working people decade after decade after decade. And we thank the trade union movement for helping us end child labor, for helping us create a 40-hour work week, for helping us get time and a half for people who are working long hours. The essence of the trade union movement is a lesson that we must always remember. And that is when people come together and stand up together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. And that's what we have got to learn today. The brothers and sisters, I have been, as you know, all over this country, and I am not pessimistic about the future of this country. I just want you to know there are beautiful, incredibly beautiful people all across this nation that are prepared to stand up and fight for a nation, for an economy, and for a government which works for all and for a democracy of one person, one vote. We can do it. We can do it when we have the courage to get involved, to run for school board, to run for city council, to run for office, when we get involved in fighting against climate change or discrimination of all forms. The times are perilous. All of us need to jump in and stand up and fight back. And when we do that, brothers and sisters, we can and will create the nation, the extraordinary nation that you and I know that the United States can become. Thank you all very much.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Senator Sanders. And
Go that way.
Senator Sanders is going to help meet some people here, but we're going to keep going because we've got a couple more speakers. So thank you so much. If you guys all want to be part of our movement, we ask that you sign up today. And if you look up here, I've got our new shirt and our new hat that are available if you sign up.